Hi Capricorn, welcome to your week ahead tarot horoscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Your key to the week this week is the Moon card. The past is alive and present this week. Remember, with the Moon card, this is where something from our past, something that is bubbling up from the subconscious, maybe a person, maybe an experience is coming back into the fold. This is where something reoccurs. In a lot of ways, this card can be about confusion, which is one way to see it. I don't feel that's the case this week though, and it's rare that you guys get confused over anything because you're that intelligent. That being said, the past, some recurring situation, potentially challenge or problem could be coming up this week, and maybe it's coming up so that you can shed some light on it to get a different perspective. The other thing here as well, for a lot of you, I kind of feel like this is where you're taking or at least diluting the power of a past issue to hold sway over the present. I really feel for a lot of you, this is going to be a week where you reframe something. So you're seeing something in a much in a much different light, and when you do see it, I think you're going to be like really pleasantly surprised, because you think to yourself, wow, okay, you know what, actually I didn't realize, but seeing, yes, all right, the experience of whatever this was sucked, but actually seeing it from this viewpoint, I can use this. You can repurpose something this week, and I actually think it could really do you some wonders. With that said, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your actions and options this week, you have the King of Wands, right? So in some ways, the King of Wands is literally ruled by Aries. And so I find this really interesting because in a sense, it does mean that you are showing up very much as yourself, but yourself as you are now in response to or relation to the past. So this is you seeing something very clearly. For a lot of you, I actually feel like this might be a week where you do see yourself clearer than ever. And maybe, just maybe, you see something and you're like, ooh, okay, I definitely want to adjust or fix that. It's not a problem. It's not an issue. It means that you're seeing it. And really, when we shed light on those things within us that we want to change, that we want to adapt, first of all, meet it with love, because it's still you. Even if it's a part of you that you don't necessarily enjoy or want people to see too much of, it's still a part of you. And so therefore you have to love it more than anybody else does, right? Because that's how you assimilate who you really are. That's how you bring all of your bits and pieces back together. Now, in terms of your actions this month are this week are blessed, but they are going to take some navigation, right? And a phrase that Nico says a lot, son of Celine, if you've been with me long enough, you know I'm a huge fan of his. And one time he said, like, and this really made me laugh because it's obviously stuck with me for like 3-4 years ago he said this, but you can't smuggle crack into heaven, right? So this week, you can make huge strides forward. You can even do it with the knowledge of the past, but you can't take certain habits and practices with you. And this is something that this week I think really is going to see you assimilating an idea or some wisdom and saying, okay, you know what? I've got to love this part of me. I don't have to perpetuate it. I don't have to tolerate it or whatever, but actually I still have to love it. So I'm going to put this part of it aside and I'm going to move forward. When it comes to your options, the options that are available to you this week, whatever you are doing, it does have to be a little bit more public than maybe you would like it. That's not necessarily a bad thing. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Six of Pentacles. There's a lot of conversations around money, finances and resources this week, and specifically about who gets what. So this could be where you're talking about debts, settling bills, payments, etc. This could also be a week where you are managing or speaking about other people's finances. So especially if you've got like wills, things that need a guarantor signature, etc. This may also be a week where some past challenge around money, finances or issues comes up again, but this time you can resolve it fully. So it's like you see something and you're like, yes, okay, now that I know this, I can see it from a different perspective. I'm changing my way that I'm going to deal with this from now on. And by doing that, it's like it clears the way for your resources in some way, which, you know, it could be really, really interesting for a lot of you. When it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form, also a lot of the conversations that you could be having this week may center around either some form of charity, possibly around doing something for somebody else, maybe something that they can't do for themselves. It may also be that you're called upon in that capacity. When it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, the Six of Pentacles here, and this is something that came up for you guys earlier this year, a problem or a disruption in the funding for your studies may come up. It may be an issue. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, this week, don't be surprised if there are extra duties or responsibilities put on your plate, maybe ones that you either don't enjoy or don't want. It's not permanent, but it is something that will need to be dealt with this week. And unfortunately, it might feel to you like it's a bit of a menial task. Just do it with your head held high, do your thing, right? Because it won't last very long. When it comes to those of you that are, come on, brain. When it comes to those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, or people that work for themselves, this may be you having to fork out for something here. That so this could be, let's say there's something that you need for your business. Maybe it's a laptop, maybe it's a phone, maybe whatever it is. There's something that needs repaired this week. And I've got to be honest with you, if this is like the second or the third time you've had a problem with this thing, just replace it. I know it's easier said than done. I know obviously, you know, right now finances are tight for everybody, but I do kind of get the feeling that it's going to be a lot easier for you if you do it this way. All right, just replace it now, bite the bullet, get it done. Once it's done, it's done. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, this again, it's really weird because I kind of feel like you're taking responsibility for somebody else's finances. So strange. I'm intrigued to see what you guys say in the comments. For your love and relations, you've got the Two of Wands. I like this for advancement when it comes to the relationship. I also see a recurring conversation around money, finances, around what is or isn't possible at this given moment. So for those of you that are partnered, you could be having a conversation, maybe one that continues to crop up. It's like this week you find, especially like, so for, like I said, in terms of like a technology or something that's being replaced, you can't replace your partner. Well, you can, but you know what I mean. You can't replace that. So if that is the case and this conversation keeps coming up, this week, squash it. Whatever it takes to have this done this week, get to it. For those of you that are single and looking and ready to mingle, I really, I don't know why I said this represents your sign, because you're not an Aries, you're a Capricorn. Sorry, I was just looking at the King of Wands like, did I say that? I said that. I'm obviously having a bit of a mare today. This is the Capricorn reading. It is for Capricorns. I apologise for that hiccup, slip up. Now, that being said, now I'm trying to remember if I said, you know what? I'm posting it anyway. Whatever. I'm having a moment. I have my human moments too. For your, as an Aquarius, the alien of the zodiac, for your those of you that are single, if you are connecting with someone this week, it will be someone from your past. It's not somebody that is brand new to you. It's somebody that you already know, potentially a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Whoever this person is, it's somebody that you already know. There is potentially, and the thing is, because it's the Two of Wands, you might meet this person on your path, and it's like you're not looking to meet them. Maybe you even haven't thought about them for, you know, months, years, whatever, and all of a sudden you run into them. And it could be like one of those like, whoa, okay, never expected that. For your money and materials, you've got the Two of Cups. 2 2s represents a bond, a partnership, a pact, or an accord. Look at that, right? So there are good conversations around money this week. There are bonds, pacts, and accords being made when it comes to finances. but there are potentially conversations that need to happen in order for advancement to move forward. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is going to be your stomach, so pay attention to what you're eating this week, especially because you've got a double hit of that kind of lunatic energy. Now, what this really says to me is there's a potential for you to take too much of something, whether this is alcohol, whether it's a certain type of food. It's like whatever you're doing, you're doing it to excess, and you're going to feel it on a physical level. When it comes to home and environment, the Two of Cups is beautiful for partnerships and relationships, especially mending stuff around money, finances and resources. I would also say, like, yeah, this might be a week where maybe something that you have to get rid of can be traded. So if there's something that you need and there's somebody that you know is in need, you could give that to them, and the chances are they may have something in return for you. There's almost like a trade here. So it's like you could be swapping something with someone else. You might even be swapping a home. That's possible here in the UK. It's a scheme that we have. So with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments for Capricorn what goes on with your week. I apologize for the hiccup. With that said, take care, and I'll see you soon.